Hi folks, welcome to another Spiritual Speakeasy with Jonathan, yours truly, and I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, Yuletide, whatever you celebrated. I hope that it went well. Today we've got a scene of domestic bliss here at the Halstead household. We've got my wife Anne in the kitchen, who is making us a wonderful meal for this evening, and I'm doing the washing, by the way, not right now, but it's there, it's in the tumble dryer, it's in the washer, and things are ongoing. So yes, it's all very domesticated and very family orientated today. Anyway, let's talk about spiritual things, shall we? Well, the theme of today's speakeasy is who really controls the world? Who really controls everything? Who really kind of makes things tick? That's a really far-reaching question. But you know what? Before I kind of delve into that, I'd like to just go over some of the things we've covered this year. Because, of course, we're nearly at the end of it now. We're nearly at the end of 2021. Where did 2020 go? I don't know. Where did 2021 go? I don't know. Does anybody else know? Is it out there somewhere? It seems to have absolutely flown. Even everything that's gone on, all the intense energies, everything that's happened this year and last year seems to have merged into one big blur. So I was just going to take an opportunity, folks, to look back on what we've done over the last 12 months. And just, you have to excuse me because I'm clicking on my screen here. And I'm going into my YouTube channel. Thank you also, folks, for supporting the channel this year as well. You've been absolutely brilliant. I really do appreciate that support. I would love to get the word out to more people, if possible, but obviously this is where we're going with this at the moment. I'm not into YouTube in a big way. I don't particularly want to be posting things all the time because it tends to take over your life, and I know there's people out there who actually earn a living from that. Well, I'm not particularly interested in doing that. It's just the fact that I get this stuff, it comes through in channeled information, comes through in inspired information, inspired words, and when I get those words, I always want to share them with people. That's my idea, is to share with everybody. So I'm just kind of looking on the screen, folks. You'll have to forgive me a little bit. So going back to the first Spiritual Speakeasy, yeah? Finding the Truth in a World of Lies. Now, there was a title. And that was going back to January 21 by the looks of it. So, wow, that's nearly 12 months ago, of course. Then we moved on to Let Your Higher Consciousness Be Your Guide. Well, what can I say about that? Absolutely let your higher consciousness be your guide. It's learning how to remove ourselves from this world and become the observer. Become the observer through our higher consciousness. That is one message that's kind of travelled all the way through these times. By the way, I will be having a slurp of coffee as well, so just excuse me while I have a slurp, otherwise it will go cold. Thank you. And yeah, the next one, Death of the Soul, that was a good one. Spiritual Speakers. By the way, I'm not congratulating myself on these. It was a good topic. Really enjoyed that one because it's talking about letting things go. And if there's one thing that's really happened for me personally in these times, it's learning to let things go, learning to give up certain behaviours. Although I have been a bit naughty and I've been on the mince pies again this year, so and I can feel it round the middle. But anyway, let's not dwell on that one. Okay, they're nearly done anyway now. So we have this amazing habit of buying way too much, and then old Muggins here ends up eating it all. But there you go. That's life. So the Death of the Soul. Speakeasy 4, dismantling old behaviour patterns. Now, looking at this, there was obviously somebody who didn't kind of quite like that one. I'm looking at the stats because obviously YouTube loves all this stuff, stats, monitoring things, blah, 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 keeping tabs on stuff. 87.5% of likes, so somebody didn't particularly like that one. And then I broke things up a little bit. If you tune in at all to Mark Devlin or to the wonderful Nat Rich, Nat Rich interviewed me back in 2020. Nat Rich of I Am Sound Radio, by the way, she just launched that on the 21st of December, so please do check that channel out and that website out. It's a brand new radio station, really kind of catering for the things that we talk about. Now, Nat has interviewed me on numerous occasions from a sound healing point of view through to my spiritual workings point of view. She's a wonderful lady, well switched on, very much awake. She has a lot of things to say that humanity needs to hear. So please do tune in. My next one is, I think it is on, just bear with it, I'm going to have to click again, folks. They're all on YouTube, by the way, on Nat Rich's channel. Let me just check my emails for you, and then I can tell you. Monday, 3rd of Jan, 7:30 to 8:30, myself and Nat are having another chat. I call it My Chat with Nat. And we talk about energies, basically how the energies are affecting us right now. It's not just about that. We get into all kinds of different topics of conversation, very much like what we do here on the Speakeasy. But please do join us for that. It's live on YouTube, by the way, and I will put the link on the bottom, on the bottom of the thing. The little arrow, if you miss that, click on the arrow, it drops a little menu down, and there's lots of links on there for you, so like our website link, and I will put the link onto Nat's own session there. And also, for anybody that doesn't know, myself and Anne do a free meditation every Sunday, 15 minutes. We're just having a little break now just for the new year. But we will be resuming those again, I can tell you. Just bear with me. You can tell I forget things, can't you? But where is it? Where has it gone? Where's it gone? I'm looking for our last newsletter. Oh, by the way, if you've never subscribed to the Holistic Wellbeing newsletter, I'm going to put the link in as well. That little arrow, drop down, you get the links in there. Roll down the screen, and you'll see at the bottom, subscribe. Click on that. You'll get a newsletter every week telling you what we're doing at the centre, our spiritual centre and wellbeing centre. And, dear me, I've not been on the brandy, honest, yet. But click on that, and it'll keep you updated with everything that's going on. It'll tell you all about the sessions with Nat and everything else that we do, everything. It's a great way to keep in touch, and you kind of get it firsthand as well. So I'm still looking, still pondering. When was the last newsletter? Hello. I can see other people's newsletters. I can't see ours. Anyway, I'll keep looking. I'll keep looking. It usually comes under holistic well-being. Can't be that far ago, really. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I'll do a quick search. That would be better, wouldn't it? So, let's have a look. See what comes up. And yeah, that was a good move. It's even worse. Everything's got holistic well-being in it. Come on. I tell you what, folks, I'll probably be here all day doing this. This is crazy, crazy, crazy. 10th of the 12th, was that the last one? I don't think so. But anyway, let's just see. Yeah, no, that's way before that. So, as I say, if you want to subscribe, please do. It will keep you updated with all the stuff that we do, and help you to kind of, like I say, get it at first hand, which is kind of more important, really. You know what? I cannot find that anywhere. That really has gone AWOL. So again, I will try and find the Can you believe this? I've just got an email saying Nat's asking me if I can do the second. So sorry about that, folks. There you go. That's hot off the press. Yeah, that's the Sunday. Can't see any reason why I can't do that. But anyway, I'll publish that on my Facebook page, folks. It'll be on the Holistic Wellbeing page as well. So it looks like we might be doing that talk on the 2nd of January. All right, so hold that thought, and I will try and find out the date of our next meditation. It's every Sunday, usually 11 till 11:15. So we do a 15-minute meditation. It's free, and we generally tend to put out thought intention now to start to begin to create this wonderful new world that we would all like to manifest. So that's what our intention is right now, is to continue to manifest that amazing new world. Because the power of thought is another one that I did. Where was that? Power of thought. That was Spiritual Speakeasy 12, talking about how amazing human beings are at creating things. Not creating, well, we are all good at creating, aren't we? But creating things in terms of manifesting a better world for ourselves spiritually. So, oh yeah, and then yeah, if you subscribe to Nat's YouTube channel, by the way, Nat Rich, then you can tune into all her videos. Mark Devlin, tune into his podcasts. Mine was volume 171 when he interviewed himself. It was called The Paradigm Shift, and it was 12 months ago, just before the last winter solstice, December 21st, 2020. We were talking then about the energies changing massively, entering into the age of Aquarius. I did a little talk on my spirit guide, Phoenix. I also work with another guide, as you may know, called Calpatra. And I've recently met quite a few new cosmic guides, not personal guides, but guides for others, which have been quite amazing. These beautiful 8th dimension beings called the Sisterhood of the Divine Light, who not only are able to heal people, but they are also able to heal planets. And apparently just right now, they are around the Earth, and they are sending their healing energies towards Earth. That brings me on to the subject that if you're into your cosmic stuff, you may already be aware, but there's people all over the world now saying the same thing. We've talked about this language coming out. You know, this like one language that we seem to be speaking. Part of that language now is that there are cosmics around the Earth now, all focusing their energies, kind of willing us on, giving us the encouragement to take the next steps, okay, in, as Phoenix called it, the freedom of mankind. Should I say humankind? I don't know. I kind of get a little bit lost with all that stuff, you know. No offence to anybody, but in the spiritual sense, is it really relevant when we are spirit beings? In our spirit form, we're neither male nor female. We are just divine light. So I did a sound healing on Speakeasy 7. Talked about the awakening happening now. That was on 6, so I've gone a bit backwards there, really. That's not kind of unusual for me. And then 8 was Spiritual Warriors, the battle cry sounder that I was talking about. Come on, folks, now. It's time to awaken, time to find out who we really are, yeah? And then 9 was 1111, a message from the angels about the significance of numbers and number sequences, and about how the angelic realms are influencing Earth too. 10, Speakeasy 10, our truth has been played. Well, pretty much, I would say yes, really. I'm talking about the narrative. You know, people talk about the narrative. Well, there are two narratives. Well, there's probably more than two narratives, but there are two narratives. There's the narrative that people call the normies, yeah, their narrative, receiving all the media information and kind of taking it all in and kind of running their lives by that. But the people who seek the truth are also being played as well. They're following a set narrative. It's feeding off the fear on both ends of the spectrum. The fear of dying or the fear of going into some kind of dystopian 1984 world. Think about that, folks, because that's exactly what's happening. And we talk about raising our vibration out of that so we become the observer. So we're observing everything in our divine spirit form. That makes a huge difference. We're no longer getting trapped in that fear net, that net of fear that and captures both sides, if you like, of this fence that's been put up, let's call it. Caution, controversial content. There was some revelations in there. I'm not going to tell you about that. Just go and watch it if you've not watched it already. Yeah, talked about the power of thought. 13, is this the beginning of the end for the bad robots? The bad robots mean, let's call the controllers, yeah, or whom we assume are the controllers. And that's more to do with where I'm going on this particular speakeasy. So we'll just wait for that one to come along. I mentioned, are you ready for the awakening? Time to do it, folks, now. Time to remember who we are. And I don't mean about I am Jonathan Holster. I'm talking about where we originate from. In the divine spirit, okay? Hang in there, everything will be okay, was 15. The big message from the angelic realms, everything will be okay, you know? Keep the faith was the next one, really a follow-on from that message. Keep the faith. Don't let your mind wander off in different directions. We need that upliftment. We need to bring that manifestation into the world right now, and that's why we are currently doing the meditations based around that, manifesting a better world for all. It's not about what we want, it's what we need as beings right now. So what do we need? What is it that we need? You know, food, shelter, you know, peace, harmony, love, whatever it might be. Just manifest that, be that. And don't project it into the future. That's the big mistake. It's like, don't project it into the future. Don't, oh yeah, well, next year it might be like this. Manifest it now, as if we are already living that, because that's how it works. Manifest it in the now, in the moment, because for all those who study mindfulness, you'll know that everything happens in the moment. Yeah, everything in the moment. So so there you go, folks. That's a rundown of last year. So once again, as I say, thank you very much indeed for supporting me and Anne, who's done a couple of those as well, and for supporting us through the year, through 2021. You've been absolutely brilliant. Thanks for your comments, and thanks for giving us a thumbs up button. It's very, very much appreciated, and it's nice to hear that people report back to us and say that really resonated with them. That's just incredible. You know, this is why I'm not too bothered about how far this goes out. If it got further, that would be brilliant. Yeah, I'd love to be able to spread the message. However, I know that people around you guys are not as receptive to this kind of information as perhaps yourselves are. So it's difficult to share that on. You know, it's not like a funny meme where you can share it and it'll go viral. I understand that perfectly. But if you know of anybody who is awakening, it might just help them. It might help them to understand that they're not alone, not on their own. So, still looking for that thing. Still can't find it. Still can't find it. Oh, goodness only knows. What am I like? What am I like? I don't know. Come on. I've even put in holistic well-being into the search. Yeah. Come on. It's got to be just before Christmas, surely. I'm sorry, folks. It's crazy, isn't it? It's got to be just before Christmas. So it would have gone out the Thursday or the Friday. Let's have a look for you. If I can't find it, I'm going to move on. I'll be here all day at this rate. It was just came out around my dad's funeral, so there was quite a lot going on there. But Thursday the 16th. Yeah, no, it's kind of it's disappeared. It's obviously disappeared for a reason. But like I say, if you look out in the new year, folks, it will be on our Facebook page, newsletter, and website. So watch out for those weekly meditations. Come and join us. Put in all that amazing thought energy together, and let's get that spread out into the world right now, and really see if we can do some good work spreading that energy around planet Earth. Okay, so right, I've shut all that down now, so I'm kind of, my eyes are not up there anymore. They're hopefully kind of where they should be. Well, here, there, wherever. All right, yeah, brilliant. So yeah, I've been getting quite a lot of writings recently coming through, and again, I'm just tapping away on my iPad now, folks, so just bear with me. There was one little piece that I thought might be of interest to you. If you go on the website, do check out the blog page. Okay, we've got loads of blogs. It's not just about this stuff, it's about kind of the earth, recipes even, we've got recipes on there as well. So check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I'm sure you'll find it to be of interest. So there we go. It's not on my iPad after all that. I've actually got it on the screen again, so my eyes are going to go a bit up there again. But one thing, this came about of a realization that my eldest son Tom, who lives in Vienna, because of his kind of spiritual beliefs, along with ours, he may not be coming home again, basically, until we see these conditions improving. So. And I put kind of pen to paper, or should I say fingers to keyboard, because if you saw my handwriting, it's shocking. And I wrote quite a piece, which again is on the blog, it's on the website, under blogs. But I wanted to just say this. There were some words that came out, and I just picked up on this one. And I'll read it in its kind of entirety in the paragraph. So, to quote, how long will it take before we learn the lessons that it is better to live guided by love in our hearts and not the fear in our minds? I was once connected to a divine presence in a reading, and that was an angelic presence, by the way. I didn't put that in the blog, but I'm saying that here. And the question was put to this beautiful being about the disease. Call it the disease. And the being answered, it is a virus of the mind. Now, I may have said that previously in other speakeasies. Sorry to repeat myself, but still to this day, I feel that's kind of pretty spot on, really, a virus of the mind. And this is the bit that really kind of hit me. And I put in, I've mentioned this in public only to be met with comments such as, how dare you, people are dying. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the whole signalling thing. That how dare you talk about things like this when people are dying? And the words continued. The harsh truth is that we are born to die. It's true, we're only going one way on this planet, folks. However, what people are not aware of or refusing to even go there to find this is, continuing, the beautiful truth is we transcend death. So there's the truth, okay? So the fear is all about the dying and, oh no, you know. The truth is we actually transcend death. So there's absolutely nothing to be fearful about dying. So the message is that I wanted to get across is don't deny yourselves and others. And that's really important. It's not just about yourself, it's about others. The joy of life by consuming yourselves with the fear of death. And that kind of hit me a little bit, did that one. So I just wanted to share that with you folks, and that's from our blog, taken from the last newsletter. Okay, I'm going to continue now. So thank you for that. Thank you for bearing with me on that, and the little bit of stuff in the middle that when I couldn't find that, which was a bit embarrassing, really. But you know, I'll get over it. Slurp of coffee time. Yeah. So who controls the world? Who's in control? Well, on a physical level, it's certainly not us at the moment. I think we can kind of safely say that that's the case. But there's also a beautiful truth behind that statement as well. Now, I questioned my higher consciousness, my guides, about information that I've learned over many years. And I've learned over many years that humanity was hijacked at some point in its existence. And it was hijacked by a certain frequency of being. And we may have talked about those beings already in previous speakeasies. These beings do not wish to ascend. They have no interest in ascending spiritually. They are quite content, if that's the correct way to put it, of basically staying as they are, controlling everything. Their reason to be is to control every section of society, to control every planet. It's almost like that's their life goal, their reason to be, as I've mentioned before. And they've kind of manipulated all the physical reality to a point where they recycle themselves. They can come back whenever they wish, however they wish, and it's generally in positions of power, what we see as positions of power on this planet. And I've talked about the bad robots in that particular speakeasy. The bad robots being the remnants of those beings that are now left on planet Earth wreaking their havoc. Now, again, we can look at that two ways. We can go, well, it's a disaster, it's horrendous, it's horrible, terrible, horrific, lots of different adjectives to describe the current situation. But on the other hand, it is absolutely necessary for the awakening, for the ascension, not only of humanity, but also of the planet and the cosmos. Because we are going through major frequency changes right now. And again, particularly around significant dates like the 21st of December. Portals have opened, energy portals, very positive energy portals, by the way. We have so much spiritual artillery behind us right now. And I don't mean guns and bombs. I'm talking love, compassion, encouragement to make this transition from this very low frequency state of being, which we've been like this for thousands upon thousands of years, to a much higher state of frequency. So, these beings have controlled us subvertively. There's a good word, subvertively. Behind the scenes, in the shadows. If anybody ever watched the X-Files back in the 90s, you'll know that it was about government within government, and possibly stick another government on that as well. Who was actually in control was part of the reason, if that's the right word, of that program. It was not only to discuss the cosmic question, do aliens exist? And I hate using aliens, call them cosmic families, but come on, it's the telly. So aliens will always be called aliens in the media. Some are extremely benign, and of course the ones that we're talking about now, our lovely little reptile friends, are not so benign. But they've been pulling the strings for thousands upon thousands of years, and this is where people tend to lose it now, because it's too outrageous to even begin to believe. But that's the beauty of it, is because it's outrageous, that nobody will believe it. So therefore, you know, you're kind of consigned to the local sanatorium and be put into a straitjacket. But how have these beings done this? And it's actually been done through a very subvertive network. And I've been very surprised that not many people that I call truthers have talked about this subject, because this subject is key to the whole of the ascension. And it makes me wonder whether these people might have something that they don't wish to reveal. I don't know. But the control system has been put in place through what we call Freemasonry. Now, I'm not talking about the bottom level Freemasons, the people who go into Freemasonry with good intention, very much like the bottom level politicians. Like anybody who goes into anything, we all go in with good intention. I'm talking about the top level, and these people are selected on purpose. And this is as dark as I'm going to go on this, but this is all controlled by occult, negative forces. This is what we call satanic, for want of a better word. These are people, sorry, I'll get my teeth in again. These are people or beings that see bad as good. Everything is twisted. Everything is inverted. It's an inverted reality of what we experience within the human spirit. It's totally inverted. They twist everything to mean something different. And folks, if you've not seen that active already in the world in the last 2 years, well, open up your eyes, because it's time now to see what's happening. That everything that we've gone through is an inversion of reality. And I want to say to you that those words were used recently by one of the senior members of our government in the UK, an inversion of reality. And this is how they work. He was trying to make out that people like us are inverting reality. That's great. That's fighting talk to me. That really is fighting talk, because in reality, they have completely inverted our reality. Okay, the truth. The truth is anathema to them. The truth is a different truth. Okay, a truth of control, of greed, of war, of pain, of suffering. A truth of torture, enslavement. It's a totally different truth to the truth of the human divine spirit. So I put a question to my guides, and my question was, how on earth can we see the end to this subvertive level of control that is going on planet Earth right now? Because this will never be put in plain sight in its truest form. There's information all over this planet that we call in plain sight. However, it will not be so much in plain sight to make it blatantly obvious. My concern is, how do we achieve, if you like, inverting their reality into our reality, into a better world for all, one of love, compassion, healing, harmony, peace, the things that true human beings really do wish for. And remember, folks, we are being given that opportunity now to take that, or make that decision, to decide that that's what we want. And the answer came back from my guides that, don't worry, we'll sort that out. To actually bring that existence out of that low frequency vibration will take more than we as human beings in physical body are actually capable of. And I'm feeling now that the frequencies that are around Earth now, the cosmic frequencies, the very high vibration cosmic frequencies, still not got my teeth in, and the angelics, all higher consciousness is now working towards raising the vibration enough that these low frequencies will no longer exist or cannot function or manipulate the newer or new reality which is coming to Earth. And that's how they put it to me, as simple as that. Don't worry, we'll sort that out. So again, folks, I'm saying have faith. Have faith that this deep-seated control system will be, for want of a better phrase, sorted out. Yeah. Have the faith, keep the faith. It's happening right now. It's falling apart. It's disintegrating piece by piece. Their network is disintegrating. And if you're one of those who chooses to, let's say, keep your body intact, then just know that when you receive those text messages on your phones to rush off and get the medicine. Okay? That is an act of desperation on their part. Every single time it is mentioned and put out in the media, they are expressing their desperation and their exasperation that their plans are collapsing. If this thing was so prevalent and so bad, we would not need coercion to go and get the medicine. So that was my guides giving their opinion on how this is going to be tackled. Because quite frankly, folks, I could not see a physical way of removing that frequency, that vibration from planet Earth. But it's all being sorted out for us. So thanks, Cosmics, thanks, Angels, you're all amazing. Thank you, bring it on, bring it on. And I've got to a point now in my time through this where I've reached desperation myself, and I just wanted things to happen. You know what now? It's like it will take as long as it takes. It will take as long as it takes to complete the job. There's an old saying, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. Well, let's take the time, folks, and do it well. There's still a lot of people out there who are awakening, and I'm getting emails from people telling me about their awakenings. It's just incredible, and I know I speak from a place of privilege, if you like. I don't know if that's the right word, but because of what I do in my daily life, I see this all the time, and people say, oh, I don't see it happening, no, I can't see it, no. Well, folks, it's happening, and I can tell you for a fact that it's happening. And I've learned quite a few facts in the last couple of months, very interesting facts. And one of them was about the so-called deaths in 2020, and through listening to people working in the undertaking profession, I've been told on more than one occasion that those deaths never happened. Nothing out of the ordinary. Even though they'd kind of geared up for them, ramped up things for them, they never actually came. And now I'm very convinced that what 2020 was spreading a fear, global fear campaign to create customers for the suppliers of the medicine. So when the medicine came out, they would have billions of people queuing up for it, clamouring for it. And don't forget the old tactic, folks, that they use, these companies. They say, oh, we've got a new drug for this. Oh, but by the way, we can't get hold of it just yet. You know, it might be a few months, we don't know. That creates the need. They create the need right there. So when they tell you that they can't get it out fast enough, supplies are very low, they are creating that need within the human psyche. It's all about choice. It's your choice. And it should always be and remain a choice. Anything other than choice is tyranny. And I've had some very interesting conversations recently with people who don't see it as tyranny. They see it as saving lives. Well, I could argue that that's exactly what I'm trying to do as well. However these thought patterns pan out is very interesting, but I am also seeing the people who've taken the medicine waking up in numbers now, in numbers. It's tangible. Beginning to ask the questions that we were asking, or some of us were asking, all those months ago, way back into March last year. And that's amazing, because we need those people to awaken so that the numbers will swell. And those numbers are swelling, because it's becoming evident now that this is all about control. It's back to that mentality of total and utter control. Nothing else. Sorry, one thing else. Greed. Every part of that control system that we spoke of is controlled by that section, those shadow workers in corporations, in finance, retail, manufacturing, in governments, local governments, global governments, any global organisation is absolutely controlled from the top to the bottom. And people are losing their jobs because they refuse to kowtow. And I would say to anybody who is in that state of fear or worry or anxiety, that you may come to see that losing your job was the best thing that ever happened to you. It allowed you to become free of that system of control. See it as freedom. To walk away, to think, to have the freedom to think, the freedom to reshape your life. When you understand what these organisations are capable of, you will be glad to be no longer a part of that control system. It's already beginning to collapse. We need now to create communities. Communities of people that will come together to create a new form of society, a new world. And I spoke about this possibly March, April time last year. I'm sorry, folks, I've got a keyboard in front of me. I've been doing a little bit of music and I've spotted a little bit of dirt on it. What am I like? Or cat hair. There's no cats today, by the way. Dare I say I've shut them out, because they will be a nuisance. I love them, really. But we have this amazing opportunity now to walk away from these control systems, to stop listening to them, to stop listening to the repetitive propaganda that bleats out from these people, to create a much better society and new ways of working, new ways of trading, new ways of financing ourselves. And eventually we'll do without finance anymore. Whether I'll see that in my lifetime, I'm not sure. I've never meditated on that. It's not that important to me right now, but we just need to think and bring in the wisdom from the higher consciousness. To create the new world, we have to work with the higher consciousness. And this is the difference. Many civilizations have fallen in history, and if we go back to the mythical Atlantis, I have meditated on that as well, and been left with a very strong impression that the British Isles are very much remnants of the Atlantean continent. The energy in these isles is quite incredible. It's a different energy. And the seat of control for the power of those that we spoke about is in the city of London. That is where the seat of control is. And they cited that for a reason. This place must be very powerful energetically. And when you begin to understand about ley lines and how energy circulates, toroidal fields of energy, etc., etc., you can imagine this energy just pulsing, churning away, day by day, year by year, century by century, millennia by millennia, pumping out the fear vibration. This is part of the message to say that we now, as humanity, have to get it right. We have to get this ascension right. We've done it before and we failed. We failed to get it right because we did not listen to the consciousness. And that is why there now has to be a global awakening. There has to be enough thought energy, enough thought power to totally convert this system. So we are here, we are awakening, the cosmics, the angelic realms, all the higher conscious beings are focusing their energy now towards planet Earth to help us through this ascension period. Meditate, folks, it's the key to that higher consciousness. This is how we are going to live, through working with the higher consciousness on a live basis. We're going to be completely switched on all the time. We're not going to have to sit in meditation. Excuse me. That's the coffee talking. We're not going to have to sit in meditation because we will be working in meditation all the time. We will be connected all the time to the higher source. And that is what we are working to attain in physical body. Okay, that's what we're working to attain right now. And once we attain that, we will then make all our decisions based around higher wisdom. So when the science tells us one thing, we've created this wonderful new product, well, where is it ethically? Where is it in spiritual terms? Oh, well, we didn't consider that because that's all nonsense. Well, the nonsense is that we cannot continue to create technology without working with the higher spirit, the higher consciousness. That is part of the new way forward. Everything we will do, we will understand there is a consequence to what we create. And it won't be about profit, and it won't be about the military. It will be there for the good of all. If it's not for the good of all, we will not create it. We will not even entertain it. So we need to be conscious of working consciously. For those people who are kind of umming and ahhing about, oh, should I go and see somebody about it? You know what? Go and see someone about it. Yeah, go and speak to someone about it. Speak to me. Speak to anybody like me. Speak to Nat. Speak to all these wonderful people around the world that are all talking a similar language. It may be we're completely wrong. I don't know. But it feels right to me. And if it feels right to me, that's the only thing that I can go on. And I know what's wrong and I know what's right. And whatever law tells us, whatever the law tells us, we know what's wrong, we know what's right. It's cut and dried. There's no kind of grey area. And presumably many people who could argue that there is. But in reality, it's either for the good of humanity or not for the good of humanity. And we need to ensure now that this new world is built on the good of all, not just a sector of people, not just the elite rich people. You know, because we won't care about being rich. It won't be a thing, won't be an issue. You know, we'll all have a function. We are all now finding our function. We are all now finding the pathway that takes us to our mission in life, the thing that we came here for. And the other thing as well is to not treat it as discovery, but treat it as remembering. Actually, what we're doing right now is remembering our origin, remembering who we are, remembering why we came here. And when I say who we are, I've said it before, it's not just Jonathan Halstead, it's the divine part of Jonathan Halstead. What is the workings? What are the workings within that's brought my spirit here to this planet using this body? Yeah. What are the workings of that? Why? Let's ask those questions. Let's throw them out. See what answers we get back. And I'll tell you what, we'll all generally get the same answer. We are divine beings of light. But we're all here to do different things. We can trace our ancestry into the cosmic realms, into the angelic realms, higher dimensions, you name it. We all have some form of ancestry in the spirit. So as we open up, we begin to discover these things. We begin to discover who we really are, who we truly are. And when we find that answer, you'll be absolutely amazed at what comes out. You won't believe it, actually. You would not believe it. Sound a bit like Victor Meldrew there. I do believe it. But seriously, you wouldn't believe it. Anyway, folks, I'm going to sign off. I've done quite a long one today. And I feel as though it's been a little bit intense. But we are going through intense times right now. And the energy is changing all the time. The frequencies are getting higher. And as the frequencies get higher, the desperation from the controller side will intensify. And it really is up to us now to find out who we are, remember who we are, remember our mission, why we came to this planet, and act on that. Combine our thoughts, combine our energies, combine our efforts to create this new world. So, if there's anything I would like to say for the new year, for 2022, it's just keep those thoughts, manifest those thoughts, be aware of what's going on in the world, but also be aware of what's going on in the spirit, because that is the most important thing. Ask for protection, you'll receive protection. Ask for guidance, you'll receive the guidance. And one thing I didn't mention, which is very strong right now, is the Christ consciousness. And I wrote a little piece on my Facebook page, Jonathan Halstead, Spiritual Medium, that the Christ consciousness is not just about Jesus, the Christ Jesus. It's about the divine consciousness of the Godhead, God, the divine source of all love. And that is extremely intense around planet Earth right now. I have never felt so connected to the Jesus vibration, to the Christ consciousness, than right now. Seriously, folks, we have some amazing energy working with us. Let's begin to allow it into our lives, give it permission to work with us for the highest good, for the highest vibration, the higher frequencies, to manifest that amazing new world that's waiting for us in 2022 and beyond. It's going to take time, but I tell you what, it's going to be worth it. All right. Well, I wish every single one of you a happy new year, very happy new year. Whatever happens to us, we go through life experiencing, because the spirit comes here to experience. It's here to experience life in physical form. And as I mentioned recently at our solstice sound meditation, our annual sound meditations that we do, that when we return to spirit, imagine your soul returning to the spirit, all battered and bruised, you know, looking a bit worse for wear, and there's your spirit there with a big open arm welcome, saying, welcome back. You made it. You did it. Remember that, folks. And I will very much look forward to seeing you all again in 2022 for another Speakeasy. So make things happen. I was going to say the old Jean-Luc Picard thing from Star Trek Next Generation, then make it so. Yeah, well, let's make it so. Let's do that. Let's be that. We are already that. Yeah, we are the beings who will help to take everyone forward. Keep speaking about it, keep spreading the word about it, keep sowing the seeds. Okay, have a wonderful life, a wonderful new year, and let's see what the light can do for us next year. Lots of love, lots of light. Thank you once again, folks. If you've not already subscribed, please subscribe. Click on the little notification button as well. That means you'll be able to keep up. I try to post as often as I can, but as I say, I don't want to get on the YouTube hamster wheel thing. It comes through when it comes through, and that's the way that it'll be. All right. Take care. See you soon.